A small bird meticulously lowers its head into the ear of a giant animal. It's not just feeding. Every tick, every tiny insect becomes life for its chicks in a dark tree hollow. This is the red-billed oxpecker, a bird that spends much of its life on the backs and in the ears of large African mammals. They gather hair and insects, not just for themselves, but to nurture their fragile young. These small birds navigate the vast landscape of their hosts, their claws gripping tightly onto thick skin. Their eyes scan every fold and crease, searching for hidden sustenance. Their red bills meticulously probe ears, fur, and hidden skin areas where ticks and parasites may be waiting. To the host, the bird's presence can feel familiar, sometimes irritating. But to the oxpecker, it's a vital feeding ground. However, when breeding season arrives, everything changes for the oxpecker. Each feeding trip is no longer just about adult survival, but the survival of an entire nest. Unlike many small birds, the red-billed oxpecker does not build an exposed nest on an open branch. Instead, it seeks a sealed chamber inside a tree trunk, where light enters only through a small opening.
Okay, this looks like a good spot.
Inside, the oxpecker begins to turn the hollow into a nest, meticulously carrying in pieces of dry grass and tiny roots. Most remarkably, soft animal hair is added, taken from the very bodies of the large mammals it clings to. These strands of hair are more than just nesting material. They are traces of the outside world, a piece of the savanna. They become a soft lining for the eggs that will soon appear, a piece of the giant hosts brought within. The nest does not need to be beautiful. It needs to be enclosed, soft, warm, and safe enough to hold fragile life. Then, the female lays her eggs, small and delicate, resting among the gathered grass, roots, and animal hair. Outside, there is sunlight, dust, and the heavy footsteps of large animals. Inside, a quieter, warmer world. This incubation period is the quietest chapter in their life cycle. No chicks crying for food, only warmth and patient waiting. Repeated journeys between the nest and the outside world are crucial. The eggs cannot keep themselves warm or hide from danger. Everything depends on the adult birds. One stays with the nest, while the other leaves and returns with sustenance. After close to 2 weeks of incubation, a tiny crack appears on the surface of one egg. Life is about to break open. The silence changes.
A chick does not enter the world with strength, but through weakness. Its skin is soft, eyes closed, neck weak.
The parents must now leave the nest more often, feed more often, and return more quickly.
One feeding trip may begin on the back of a buffalo,
where the oxpecker clings to thick skin, tilting its head. Another trip may happen near the ear of a host, where the skin is softer and folds deeper, and insects hide more carefully. The red-billed oxpecker works quickly and precisely, foraging for small food items and searching for hidden sustenance. Sometimes, the relationship between oxpecker and host is not entirely simple. It can help remove parasites, but also feed from wounds. Nature is not always clean, nor always gentle. It is often far more complicated than good and bad. That complexity is what keeps this bird alive. But in the story of breeding, the most important thing is simple. Food must return to the nest. Because inside the dark tree hollow, life is about to break open. The silence changes. On the surface of one egg, a tiny crack appears. Then another. A fragile body pushes its way out.
A chick does not enter the world with strength. It enters through weakness. Its skin is soft, eyes closed, neck weak.
Its body is almost completely defenseless. It knows nothing of the savanna or the giant animals outside. Nothing of the fact that its parents have flown through a world of dust, skin, hair, ears, ticks, insects, and danger. For the chick, the first world is only the nest, the animal hair beneath its body, the darkness of the tree cavity.
Feed us! Feed us now! Give us food!
Hatching is only the beginning. From that moment on, the greatest danger is hunger. The chicks need to eat constantly.
Their tiny bodies must grow quickly. Each day, they must change from helpless creatures into young birds with open eyes and stronger necks.
They develop growing feathers and faster reactions to the sound of their parents returning. This creates new pressure on the adults. They must leave the nest more often, feed more often, and return more quickly. One feeding trip may begin on the back of a buffalo, clinging to thick skin, tilting its head, and lowering its bill into a fold.
Chirping, natural bird sounds, and
When the parents return, the dark tree hollow suddenly changes. Tiny beaks open, weak necks stretch upward. This is the next meal, the energy to grow feathers, to open their eyes, to lift their heads, to survive one more day.
With every feeding, their bodies change. Bare skin becomes covered in soft down. Their eyes open, their legs grow stronger.
their necks no longer tremble the way they did in the first days. The nest begins to feel smaller.
I think I see something out there. What is it? Let's go look.
They no longer simply lie still. They begin to react, to beg harder, to look towards the opening where daylight enters every day.
In many observations, chicks remain in the nest for several weeks before they are large enough to leave the hollow.
This is the fastest period of transformation, from eggs to newly hatched chicks to feathered bodies.
And finally, to young birds nearly ready to enter the outside world. But as the chicks grow, the nest that once protected them begins to feel smaller. The entrance to the tree hollow, once only a source of light, now becomes an invitation. Outside is the place their parents have flown to every day. Outside are the giant animals, the rough skin, the wide ears, the dusty coats, and the tiny ticks hidden in the folds. This is the world that has fed them, before they even understood it existed. And eventually,
The time will come for the young birds to leave the darkness. The first time a chick stands near the entrance, it is no longer the naked, helpless creature that broke out of an eggshell. It has feathers, strength, and instincts. But it is still young. Outside, the light is stronger, the wind is wider, and the space is larger than anything it has ever known. A step out of the nest is not just leaving a tree hollow, it is stepping into the true life of a red-billed oxpecker. A life that cannot be separated from the giants of the savanna. A life lived on skin, inside ears, between layers of hair. The young bird grew up on animal hair inside the nest. It was fed with food its parents found on the bodies of their hosts. And when it is mature enough, it too will learn to cling to bodies many times larger than its own. It will learn to find food in places others never notice. It will learn to live inside a relationship that is useful and strange. This is the life cycle of the red-billed oxpecker. A small bird, a dark nest, fragile eggs, helpless chicks. And an enormous world outside, quietly helping them grow. From the bodies of giants, a small bird family begins.